Okay, I've written a little program on the computer just to demonstrate this dynamic overlay business. So the LCD is up and running. Under the right lighting conditions, it's not bad. You can see currently I've got a green screen overlay showing. Obviously you can't see much there, but you can see like the character's green. But what I've actually got is a checkerboard system here. And you can't really see it very well. Let me just change the colours as well. Right, so I've got a checkerboard. Let me get a couple of decent colours on here. Right, so I've got blue and green checkerboard. And you can see, if I go into the game, well, you can see it's static at the minute, but the whole point of making this dynamic isn't just to be able to change the overlay, it's to be able to mess about with the overlay. So it would be cool if you could get the overlay to actually move with things. Now I haven't had time to mess about and do a simulation of that, but what I have got is I've got some interactive things. So I'm actually, and you can see it a little bit there, if you look at the buses at the bottom, I'm actually got the ability to scroll the overlay in this, because I've just done a tile map system. So I've got a scrolling overlay there. Let me reset the Vectrex and go to the menu, and I can show you on the menus. So let's go, if I go back up to the top menu. Right, so you can see the scrolling checkerboard there, and obviously because this is all dynamic, I can change the colours of all these things. So I'm just cycling through some colours there. That's black. And I can change either checkerboard colour to get a decent effect. So there's nothing to stop you having scrolling effects that are in time with, obviously there's no communications here, so that's what I need to build in through the second joystick port, serial interface to the PC, so I can control this. So even at a basic level you could have a an overlay on a scrolling game that just moved around. You know, it's pretty effective. The colours are different on the phone than they are to the actual Vectrex, but that's the nature of trying to capture all this analog stuff with a digital device. But you sort of get the idea. Let me change the colours. So that's all, both squares are red. Let's find, I'm trying to get to the white one so I can make them both white, so I can show you the, I think that might be purple actually. That's cyan, that's black. I'm sure I had white set. Oh, come on. Get to what? Get to a white colour. I'll leave it as cyan, I'm not too fussed. Right, so I have actually got a multiple overlay on here. I don't know if I can show it very easily. Trying to show it. So I think F3 toggled the colour on that, but I can't remember what I did. But anyway, so the dynamic thing works. The trick is going to be organising the comms first, but the tricky bit is keeping the data to a minimum. It's not a problem for the computer to process, it's a problem for the Vectrex to spit down the joystick port. So I've got to organise doing that so that it's the minimum amount of data to transmit. So I don't know what the easiest way of doing that is. I'll got to get the serial communications going first, but I need to be thinking about how I'm going to pack some bits to represent things like positions, because that's the key bit, is to get the positions of the objects and at a minimum transmit that. But you know, now I've done this, it's like you think, yeah, you could make an overlay that is, and really this is a pure colour over. It's not like the overlays that come with the Vectrex, because there's the only part you see of the overlay, really, I can zoom right in, is really the bit that's illuminated. You can just see where there's dark parts, but you can't really see it because it's so dark, the LCD, and there's no backlight. So it's only the bits where the vectors are being drawn that you're getting any backlighting. So you've actually got, you know, you can't show like some nice arty graphics, but you can colour the vectors. So if you could scroll your overlay like I'm doing here, when I'm now rocking it backwards and forwards, and I'm going to make it go up and down, and you can get some cool effects. You can do noise effects and things. I'm just scrolling this really fast now, so it's a bit odd. So it's like, looks like it's flashing, but it's not. It's just scrolling, and it's the step. Okay, so there's promise here. The lighting conditions have got to be right, and you've got to have some nice bright vectors. It's no good doing vectors that are 1F and things like that. They don't light up very well. So you need to be using the like top end brightness on the vector values. So like 5s. Otherwise it's not going to work. But moderate success. Unfortunately I've run out of time to do this. I've got tons of stuff to do for me, for the real world, not the Vectrex world. And hopefully I will at some point get back on to doing this little fella, my Stuntman, which is what I was messing about doing this for when I've got my 4 modes. So I can do different overlays. That was the whole idea in the start of this. Tricky. It's going to be synchronization hell, and it's the timing of it is going to be very odd. I don't know whether you need to store some sync information, because it's going to be slightly different for every Vectrex, but I don't know. I just want to get it to work. I'm not bothered about whether it works for anyone else. It's a pure experiment. It might be all for nothing, and I might have wasted my money on all these LCDs that I keep destroying, but it's amusing me, and that's what matters. Okay, yeah, look, different colour. So you could theoretically do each bus a different colour. That'd be awesome. Let's try and find a red. Red buses. Right, I'm done. 8.5 minutes of boredom.